I'm becoming a crazy person with every film. Even I don't know what I'm going to do next. That guy very slyly started taking picture like that, and I saw. I was like, phone on the rakh le, nahi to tod dungi. If I look at the filmography that I had, it's quite scary to be me. I might have dated a lot of people in my life, but whenever I've dated, I've been like 100% there. I used to cry the drop of the hat. So I used to get depressed about small things very easily. If I want to feel like a queen, I can go down south and work here. And if I want to feel real and normal, I can just do one Hindi film and they make me show the reality that you are nowhere. I have had people Eve-teasing me on roads. I've gone through everything. I'm fine with being the underdog. I'm still not in the so-called list of 5 actresses who are supposed to be rated in the order of their performances.
Hello and welcome to Sit with Hitlist. It's our unscripted podcast plus print series. Thank you very much. Our guest today is Taapsee Pannu. Thank you very much for coming over.
My pleasure. I am almost intimidated with this
watchdog.
With this setup. Yeah. But I'm sure it'll be free-flowing, so I'll be good.
Well, so I'll give you an example. For instance, in this series, the last person that we had, our last guest, was Kangana Ranaut.
Okay.
And I think there's a lot common between the both of you.
Yeah, the curly hair.
The curly hair to start with. Both of you being outsiders. But the reason I'm mentioning this is because whether you agree with her or not.
But that's a common with you also, looks like.
I know.
Yeah, I think you're attracting curly hair people to this couch.
Just so you can give me notes on how to deal with it.
I will tell you in detail.
Yeah.
I am very good at it. I'm going to give you a detailed gyan on it. Don't worry.
So in case there's a fan group that's all curly hair,
I'm telling you.
So you can tell them. But actually, the reason I'm saying this is because I know that you're deeply competitive as a person, and whether you agree with Kangana or not, I think she makes for a great conversation. So I am basically psyching you up, so you make for a great conversation today too.
I will try, but I have my own track that I'm running in and not competing with anyone.
Sure.
Yeah. So.
And you can't. I think what you have is a very unique story of your own, to a point where the number of things that I thought I will ask you, they're all intriguing questions purely because we don't know anyone who's been through the same journey. I mean, something as straight and simple as your name. Do you know any Taapsee Pannu in the world?
I know Taapsee.
Taapsee Pannu?
No.
With a double A, P, S,
no,
double
not the
E?
same spelling, because the spelling itself is like one trivia in my life, where my dad actually, on all my legal documents, he kept my name as Taapsee to begin with.
Okay.
And
that's what's on your passport.
Yeah.
Okay.
And because obviously a child who's just born probably has no control to tell. I would have loved to tell my father at that point, Dad, please don't do this to me. But I did, but by the time it was too late.
Right.
So it is like that. And he believed that Taapsee, which would have been a very easy, simple Taapsee, is not numerologically good enough. It needs to have an extra E with one E, 2 E's, and then it needs to have an extra A for some weird reason. The logic he gave me, which was pretty bizarre, was if I write Taapsee, it'll be Taapsee. So Taapa for some reason in his head sounds like Taapsee. It should be like a Taapsee. I didn't
Like
get
Sita.
it. I don't know what was happening there. It just totally ruined my attendance call for good in school and college. So much so that when my call used to come, I know obviously after this is my turn. So teacher is reading roll number 47, and I'm like, Taapsee Pannu present, ma'am. So I was used to it. I became immune to this pronunciation thing way early in my age.
But did you start with was your first film, was your name differently spelled?
No.
Than how you spell it now?
No, my movies always I had Ea because I made this conscious call. I was like, okay, I was fine with correcting my school teacher, college teacher. I am not fine with correcting each and every Indian out there that it is Taapsee and not Tapasi. So I said I'm going to change it for the screen purpose to shift that A. So the 2 A's remain intact.
Right.
Let's shift that A a little before, make it Taapsee. But yeah, all my legal.
But when you're starting out, and especially when you're starting in the South and you meet the directors who are launching you, when they say kuch aur naam rakh lo, Jayaprada hi rakh lo, what is Taapsee Pannu? It's a tough one, right?
I think just because it was so unique that they were like, okay, let's, it just sounds nice and it's unique, so let's just keep it. And thank God they didn't ask me to, I would have freaked out. I was not ready to change these basic things about me for anything or anyone, and I really liked my name also for this reason that it was unique.
Right.
I'm not in those thousands of Poojas and Nehas and everyone, and I
No knock on Poojas and Nehas, please.
No.
Yeah. Come on. They're going to go after you on Twitter. You know that, right?
I know that,
Yeah.
but I'm too used to people going after me on Twitter as well, so it's fine. But even they would agree, I'm sure,
Sure.
that just that, because if you call it out once, there'll be so many heads that will turn. So that way, just to make my life easy, I'm happy that my name
But
is
speaking
unique.
of making your life easy, Taapsee, you mentioned this before, and we'll get into that a little later too, in terms of you being, never having aspired to be an actor, and that you never really even went to an acting school. But that's okay. A lot of people haven't. But you actually never even do dramatics in school.
Yeah.
Like, who doesn't like work in a school play or something?
Keeping aside the fact that I was pretty dramatic in life, I didn't really do drama in front of the camera or audience for that
Like, not
matter.
even a school play.
No, I didn't.
Like, not even one.
No.
Like, not even the person who's standing behind holding
As
the
a tree?
fan.
No.
Yeah.
No, I did not. Though I had one of my English teachers who insisted that I should act. I should go to these Sidzi Cine Stars Ki Khoj and all that. I don't know why will she think, looking at me who has never participated in any play, skit, drama, nothing. I'm a trained dancer. I used to dance on stage and in group, solo, everything. Properly professionally trained, and I used to love doing that.
So you love the stage.
I love the
Right,
stage.
right.
That's my first love.
Sure.
I love talking on stage. I love
So you were into
performing.
debating and stuff?
Yeah, I was into public
Right.
speaking. Yeah. So, and then I used to love performing dance on stage.
Right.
I learned Indian classical. Then later on, I learned the Western styles as well. So I love that live audience atmosphere on stage.
So you're not this quiet kid who became an actor?
No. I am like borderline over hyper.
Extrovert.
Loving
Right.
people loving kind of a person. Yeah,
Shows.
very,
Thank you very much. Yeah.
very, very extrovert. So I was not that, and then for some reason she felt that I should be acting, and I was like, I can't pretend to be someone else. That was my biggest block, because as an actor you feel you have to pretend to be someone, and I thought I can't do that ever. And she almost like bullied and bartered this deal that okay, if you don't participate in this play during house function, I won't let you host the house function. And her word was the final word, so I had to succumb to that and agree to play like some random character in one play, and instead she let me, in barter she let me
MC
host
the show, right.
show, which I really loved. So that's how my only experience of acting on stage happened, which was, I'm sure, terrible. I have no memories other than the fact that I just wanted to get over so I can move back to my hosting. And that's how the first and last stage experience happened.
And this is in Delhi, I'm presuming?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's a person who's never acted, or at least does not like the idea of acting in the first place, because you don't want to play other people. And of all the things that you do, you go down south to work in a language you don't even know. Like, why would you do that?
I'm telling you, I'm very experimentally unpredictable person. Even I don't know what I'm going to do next, I have realized, and I have kind of accepted it. So what happened there was, I was modeling in my college days purely for the sake of earning money, because everybody kept saying that khud paisa kamaoge to pata chalega paise ki value.
Parents said that to you?
Obviously.
Sure.
And there was no concept of pocket money in my house, and I used to get money basis whatever I needed. So I said, dekh lete hain कमा के कैसे होता है फिर. So I started, not that I had this plan of modeling. Someone said that, get a picture, few pictures clicked, you look good enough, and you can probably just do few shoots and earn money. So I felt, okay, fine, it's a simple idea I can manage with my studies, because I never wanted to give up my studies for anything. I really loved studying.
Okay.
So I said, okay, fine, I can manage it side by side, and I did. I got my pictures clicked. I started getting work immediately, started earning good money for a college student, and yes, did shopping, whatever I wanted to and all that. And slowly, when in final year, I was placed in third year, and in fourth year when my CAT result came, I did not score the percentile I thought I should for an MBA degree, to get into an MBA school. So then I thought, okay, I'll drop that 1 year and I will not join Infosys, because I don't want to start working. I want to do my
MBA. So you
MBA.
got a call from Infosys?
I was campus placed.
You were placed?
Yeah,
Wow.
I was campus placed in Infosys. That was the first company that came for placement, and I wanted to just get done with it, because I just wanted to show it to my parents that if I want, I can do this. It was always about, I don't want anybody to feel कि मजबूरी में और option नहीं थी, she is doing this with anything.
Right.
So be it with MBA that मजबूरी है तो आगे कर रही है क्योंकि नौकरी नहीं लगी. It was not like that. I had a job of offer letter. And MBA also, I had 88 percentile. I could go and join a B school. I didn't want to because I knew I could do better. So I wanted to drop that 1 year, prepare properly.
So it will be IIMs or none?
Yeah,
That's
highway or my way.
Right.
Yeah, so it was always like that. So I thought, okay, fine, let's just drop that 1 year and give the exam again. And during that 1 year, being the hyperactive person I am, I've never done one thing at a time. I've always done 5. So I can't just sit at home and study. It'll drive me crazy. Let me just do other stuff, something different. And then modeling was out of the window because it was getting too boring for me to do modeling. I stopped it in my 3rd year itself. And then I was getting calls for these films from South especially because they get a lot of girls from North to work in their films, and they were like, we have a lot of girls like you who don't speak the language, but we can teach, it'll be fine, you'll be comfortable. I thought they were more confident about my skills than myself. So I said, okay, fine, I would love to give it a shot because I honestly want to try. So doing something different. So I went down there with my CAT books, preparation books, thinking that I'm going to study while I do my acting. And it's going to be fine. But obviously I was wrong again. I couldn't even open my CAT books there because I was so deeply into those dialogue sheets. What is this language I never heard in my life, and I'm now supposed to mouth these lines as if it's like just like everyday thing. That was not, I mean, I knew it was going to be like, I have to learn a new language and then learn this craft.
Right.
But I didn't think that it's going to be so difficult. And I kind of overestimated myself.
Back in the day when a lot of Bollywood actors used to work in the South, apparently they just said 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 and get away with it.
Apparently, even I heard that. I can't do this. And I'm so bad at it, I can't take prompting because it distracts me. I've seen so many actors in front of me who even know the language much, like they know they know the language better than me. They take prompting. But it's just so distracting to take prompting from outside. I couldn't, and probably because I'm that science maths loving student who couldn't ratify the line answers. So that was one of my reasons to actually not to take commerce, because I couldn't learn these long ratify these answers. So I had to learn it by heart. So actually by hearted these lines, learned it, and because of which probably I was one of the first actresses from North who dubbed for herself in Telugu. My 3rd film was dubbed by myself. My 5th film was dubbed by myself in Telugu. Tamil was not that consistent. I used to take long breaks between my Tamil films, so I couldn't catch up with Tamil as well. But Telugu,
But you learned the language by then.
Yeah.
Enough to be able to.
Yeah, I can manage my way through. I mean, Telugu I can talk. I can have a conversation in Telugu.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. But in Tamil I can't. I can manage my way through. I can't have a fluent conversation.
I in fact watched a couple of your shows, interviews, where the person's asking you in Tamil, but you're replying in English.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, why isn't the person asking in English also? But you were getting the questions.
Yeah.
You understood exactly what was going on.
Yeah, Tamil is only incoming, no outgoing. But with Telugu, it happens both ways. So
you would actually answer in Telugu as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I've done that recently for promoting this film. I go and talk in Telugu. That is fine because I've lived in Hyderabad for 3 years, and I have done almost double or almost close to triple the number of films in Telugu in comparison to Tamil. So I can actually speak much better Telugu.
But you loved what you were studying too. That's what you said.
I did.
And you were studying engineering.
Yes. I loved the study part of it.
Sure.
I did not.
Nobody likes being in engineering college. So, I mean, that's a given.
No, I don't know how to explain it. So, basically, I was a front bencher student whenever I was in the class, which was rare. Because I was always outside for some or the other competition, dancing, public speaking, something or the other for my modeling thing. So, but whenever I'm in class, I'm very proudly sitting there in the front bench answering questions, following up with what's happening. So, it was kind of a very weird. I've been a jack of all trades, master of none. So that's why it's a pretty weird
combination. Were you the only girl in your class?
No.
So there's only one girl and that's Taapsee Pannu. Good for those guys, huh? Good for the engineering college.
No. There were like 10, 12 girls and in a class of 60.
Okay, 60. Not
that bad. Not that bad, yeah. The ratio is quite off, but then it was not like, you think Taapsee Pannu, you looking at me right now is the same girl sitting there. No, it was not like that. I'm sure they're all having a double take in their heads every day when they look at me, what I'm doing today. Yeah, because even there I used to have these big fights with this college drama society for space to practice for my dance, and I had a dance team, and there was a dramatic society, and we both used to fight for the same space in college to practice, and I used to hate all these dramatics and just like call them names that they keep doing all this drama.
You look down upon them basically.
Yeah, I was like, what is this nonsense of pretense? You're trying to just like be someone else and all that. So I was like, see what life does to you, you know. They must be laughing at me right now. So yeah, so I've had those moments where I'm like, I'm not interested. This kind of a very crazy, chaotic college life, which I think even they must be thinking.
But weren't you getting like a lot of male attention?
No.
It's an engineering college, for God's
Yeah,
sake.
I mean, just because I'm a girl, yes.
Sure.
But it was, because the ratio is so off. Yeah, but I did used to get attention, but had it been any other girl, she would have been getting attention. So it was not like anything special with me, honestly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, what's really interesting in that case, right? Because you say you're a jack of several trades.
All trades, yeah.
Now, usually there's this whole myth or a theory about the left brain and the right brain, and that if you are inclined towards mathematics, if you're inclined towards logic, which is so much of engineering in the first place, you will not be right-brained, which is largely creative, languages, arts, as it were. But you're like equal in that sense. Do you consider
something really crazy happened up there.
Really? They all got mixed up.
They all got mixed up, I think. No, yeah, I have also heard that, because I used to honestly love maths. I used to score. My best score was in mathematics always. So it was very unlikely that I will understand art. But I was parallelly nurturing that whole art in terms of dancing. So it was I was not totally oblivious or against this whole creative side of things. So that's why I said it's a weird kind of balance that has coexisted with me since I was a child, and it has stayed even now. So even now, I have a certain business bent of mine where I run certain businesses, and I have like fair idea of about the market of films as well. And at the same time, I do choose the kind of films I choose and do the kind of roles I do, which is not really the conventional market savvy films or
artistic
roles.
bent.
Yeah, so it is kind of a weird combination. I think that's what has actually given me my niche. So I've kind of like really started owning it up now.
Right. But when you become an actor, and especially when you've not done it before, another thing very interesting about you, or intriguing anyway, is that you call yourself a one-take artist. Like someone who psychs herself into becoming a particular person, and that you should give that first take. That would be very, very scary for the director, right?
It is.
Because either you get it or you don't, because you won't give beyond a second take.
No, I will give, but I give them a warning that it probably won't be as good as the first one.
Okay.
I will give, it's my duty as an actor, but I do warn them that it is how it is. I'm not a trained actor, and that's actually a negative that comes with it, not being a trained actor, that I don't know how to get this back again.
It's that moment for you.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it again, because that spontaneity and that how it will look natural will be the first time. Once I empty myself the first time, it's very difficult to fill myself up with the same ingredients. So I confess it to my directors way ahead, and this is how it is, and they sometimes get a little bit of shock, but when they start working with me and they see that what I really mean is actually true.
Would they be scared though if they don't like your first and the second?
No. If they don't like, then it's perfectly fine, because then they'll come and tell me that what they don't like, and then I have a new energy to work on, right? So if you tell me, okay, you're going in the wrong direction, this is not the emotion I want you to do, I want you to pull off this emotion. So I know, okay, I'm going wrong. So that is a total new thing for me then.
Right.
But if it didn't happen, if they couldn't capture it because of some or the other technical glitch, which often happens on set, then it becomes a scary thing, because then, especially in these most critical shots, they just feel like, okay, how will we ever get this again, and I really want to do this. And I've had times where directors have said I'm okay to keep a slightly out of focus shot, because I just don't want to get rid of this shot which I've got. I will never be able to get it again. So I do warn them beforehand that this is my shortcoming, and I am aware it's a shortcoming which can work to my advantage in certain things, but it is an actor's shortcoming that I cannot do my same take or repeat the take again the second or third time.
So does it also become harder for you then to get in and then get out as well?
Yeah, I think I'm, which probably sounds very funny from the outside, and I say it also and laugh at it, that I am becoming a crazy person with every film, which goes like, you know, I can get rid of 90% of the character out of my system, but 10% stays, and it does change something in me after every such film I do, and it stays.
Like, give me an example.
Okay, so most of the times I'm not able to put finger on it.
Sure.
That what exactly has changed, but my temperament changes, my mood swings change. Especially when I'm fresh out of a film, you will see some very visible changes. Like, I'll give you an example. When I came out of Man Marziyan, I came back home, and my sister, obviously, we both live together,
sure.
so she's witness to all these changes firsthand. And now she's scared what might happen after every film. But now, example, what happened during Man Marziyan was we went out for dinner, and we were waiting for the car driver to get the car, and there was a man who was just very slyly taking out camera on a bike, standing at the red signal there, just in front of us.
Right.
We were standing on the pavement, and there was a guy at the red signal, and he's just very slyly. So it's not like you ask me for a picture. And I'm not a public property, I'm a public figure, and there's a clear difference between the two. And I sometimes get a little almost offended when I see people taking picture of mine like a public property, like, you know, I'm a Qutub Minar or something.
Right.
So that guy very slyly started taking picture like that, and I saw that he's taking picture.
You whacked the shit out of him?
I, being into that roomie so much, I was like, phone on the rakh le, nahi to tod dungi. So and my sister was like, what did she just, and she just turned back and she's like, I'm not with her. I'm not with her. And she's like, I don't know. And then I was like, I also immediately realized what I said. And this is not how I react.
Right.
At least not after.
You're not an aggressive person, is that what you're saying?
No, I am an energetic person, but I am not aggressive when I know I'm in public space.
You would be thoda sa aggressive,
so
na?
that has changed as an actor.
Okay.
So I've changed that way as an actor. So I know when I'm an actor and I'm in public place, I will behave a certain way because
you're a public figure.
Yeah, because I'm a public figure. Yeah. So that I should not have done that, and I kind of immediately spontaneously reacted because I had just come out of Man Marziyan. And that was embarrassing.
You should be happy you didn't come out of Game Over, no?
Oh
You'd be
God,
whacking the shit out of him.
No, I'll tell you what, my sister was worried after Badla. She was like, I'm not sure who is she killing after she comes back home. So I was like, this is not a good character to bring back home.
Right.
Game Over was, I was getting depressed, borderline depressed, because obviously I had tools to get myself normal. But I used to text my sister because she's the only bouncing board I have in life. I don't freak my parents out telling them what's happening in my head, because for them sitting back home in Delhi, it's quite scary to see their daughter going through these kind of mental ups and downs. And they'll
Have you
be
seen
like,
a shrink or felt the need to after a performance? Just to get out of it? Like, because it's just staying with you for too long?
like, do what?
Like, see a shrink. I mean, meet a therapist.
No, I thought about it couple of times, but I decide if I should or no after I come back from that vacation or a holiday I take. If I feel it's still not leaving me, if ever I feel, till now it has been fine. I've been able to get rid of it, most of it. But if I don't, after I come back from a holiday, which is a ritual for me after every film, I will end up seeing one.
Where are you going now?
Game Over got done before, right?
Achha,
so it's a shooting of the film that matters.
Where did you go after Game Over?
I went to some European country only. Yeah, I went to some European country.
Sorry, you were saying you were texting your sister.
Yeah, I was just texting her and telling her that, you know, come here, I'm not feeling nice, and you know, it's very disturbing. Just random, like maybe I'll just probably crib about that, you know, I didn't get my lines properly today, but I'm very depressed about it, which is not a very depressing thing. It's okay. So I used to get depressed about small things very easily. And you know, then she has understood that how it really happens. So she's immediately used to video call me and just talk about everything else except my work, which she knows that will lighten me up a little bit. So so that kind of helped me get back. I never stayed alone in the room except the times I had to come back and sleep. I made sure I'm out with people around me, because anything, if I'm alone, I start going in some random directions, or because I was psyching myself out through the entire shooting of that film to believe that I have some sort of a fear which I'm not able to overcome. And because I don't have that kind of a past that my character Swapna had, I could not think that I had to take out something from my life. So I had to keep on thinking about my biggest fear again and again for 35 days, every single day for 12 hours. So it was very easy and seamless after a point to think in that direction. So I had to somehow push myself back into a normal space, that okay, no, now it's back up, you're not going to think like that and get back to normal. So that kind of does psych my brain out. I started doing that from Pink, and I realized that it is going to happen with me more and more the more I took such kind of films, and it is happening.
What happened with Pink? I mean, that's another person who's been through serious trauma, right?
Yeah, so that was before Pink. I never thought I could cry without glycerin, and Pink I never used glycerin. And after Pink, I remember when I came back, though I was staying with my parents, thankfully, in Delhi when we were shooting, it was all at least fine when I came back home. But after the film got over, I used to cry at the drop of the hat. Like, I used to look at a beggar and cry. I'm watching Jan Gan Man happening on television, I'm crying. It used to be like anything very, like the simple small things of, anything, patriotism, misery for that matter. Both cases. It used to just trigger something and I used to cry. I don't know what really changed. So I cannot say why it happened like that, but things.
You felt vulnerable, just like your character.
Yeah.
You became that person.
Yeah.
That's freaking scary.
Yeah, it is. I was telling someone.
Take care, huh?
Yeah, I am trying. That's why I'm trying to make myself like, I keep myself surrounded with a lot of cool friends, like who are funny and good people and positive energies, so that I cannot really get drawn into this direction. Because if I look at the filmography that I had, it's quite scary to be me now after getting in and out of such crazy characters. So, but I've had some really good people around me to keep me sane.
So when you do a movie like Jodwa 2 or something, does that like ease things a little bit?
Oh, a lot.
Chashme Pannu.
A lot, it does. I mean, it does, but when you're doing such film, sometimes in that world where such kind of films happen, you're made to realize that, you don't really belong here, but it's like almost a favor that you're doing this. And in this side of the world, where most of my filmography belongs to, there they think that, why did you have to succumb to doing that? Why did you have to downgrade to that? Like, so either way, I'm going through
You're the outsider.
Yeah, I'm outsider in both ways. So
Right.
that way, but as I said, I'm going to find a midway, and I'm walking through that. I might be the only one, but I'll create that path. At least people will remember me for creating that path that probably didn't exist before. Yeah, so but I do hear shit from both sides.
No, I mean, it's interesting where you are at this point, and I'm how long has it been? 10 years now? Has it been 10 years?
It's 9.
9 years?
Yeah.
Okay, because I think 2010 would have been your first release?
Yes.
So you would have started 9, or you just started in 10 itself?
Late 9. Very late 9.
So almost 10 years,
Yeah.
right? And that journey is incredible in terms of you can't see any pattern.
No.
But when you talk about Hindi films, and I'm really sorry, I haven't seen your work down south, and I really do wish to watch at least your first Tamil film that everyone raves about, but I couldn't find it on OTT app. Was there a turning point for you in terms of, okay, let me just tell you what I think could have been a turning point in terms of vast, massive Hindi audience? I think it's that scene where you kick ass in Baby, and that's when everyone notices you because no one's expecting that,
Yeah.
Would you consider that as a turning point in terms of people's reaction towards you?
Yeah, I think they notice that there's someone like her who exists after that.
You just pop up. Like what was that? Take us through that scene.
When I finished Chashme Badur and I was looking out for the next film, and the films coming my way were very ordinary, and I wanted to obviously up my game from Chashme Badur after that, which I wasn't getting really. And because I had done Chashme Badur, people didn't even qualify or consider me for baby kind of films. So I heard that this kind of a film is happening, and there are two girls in the film. One is the one casted opposite Akshay sir, and the other one is this agent who will just have some 7 to 10 minutes of maximum screen space in the entire film, but has an action sequence all by herself. Something in me told me that I should do this. This is something I should go for. So I went behind that role. I met the casting director of the film. I requested him to get me a meeting with Neeraj sir. Neeraj sir almost like ready to like say that no, she doesn't qualify because she's done Chashme Badur and I've seen Chashme Badur. She's a coy and shy kind of a looking girl, so she cannot do an agent. And so everybody was like convinced about it till I just kept pushing that casting director. I need to have that one meeting. And then I met Neeraj sir and he gave me the dialogue and I just read those lines literally. It was not even an audition, otherwise I would have failed. He just spoke to me about, you know, the athletic side of me, and I told him how athletic I actually was, because I was a lot into sports as well. So he somehow was convinced, thankfully for me, and then I did that role.
Like you'd done martial arts before?
No, I did not. I did not. But I loved sports. I played a lot of different kinds of sports, and I was physically extremely active. So it could look very natural on someone who's into sports. Was his thinking, and I also thought the same. So then I got into Baby, and I remember I worked my ass off to prepare for that role. I've never even slapped a person in my real life. So I was training for those martial art technique.
Except for the guy, no? Oh, you didn't slap him. The person who was taking a picture.
No, I didn't slap him.
You just scared him. Okay,
I just scared him. Please, thank God. That would have been crazy guilty. So yeah, I was training for my martial art thing, and I had this injury from my dancing days where I was trying a split. I had injured my ligament. And that injury started resurfacing with those high kicks I was practicing for Baby. And I was so scared to tell it to everyone there in the movie that I will lose the role if I tell them that I have an injury of this sort. I did not tell them. So I used to every day train for 2 hours and then go for physiotherapy for an hour every day for like, I think 6-7 weeks. And then I went on the set, and the first thing that we shot for Baby in the film as well as the Nepal schedule was my fight. So we finished that entire fight in one day, where we had kept it for 2 days. We finished it in one day, and it thankfully came out fine. And I had taken those vitamin B and D injections also to make sure it doesn't resurface. And it went on smooth, and when I finished it, I told them that I had this injury and I did not want to tell you guys because I was so scared I'll lose this role. And they were like, you stupid, we wouldn't have like done that.
But it's not just that role. I don't think there is any instance of an entire film being inspired by one scene. Like Naam Shabana came from that one scene.
Yeah.
You still had the injury.
Yeah. I did. I mean, so basically I have realized with me what works is when people don't expect anything out of me. I'm good at being the underdog. And I think that is what has worked for me till now. People did not expect that in an Akshay Kumar film, anyone will have any kind of substantial role.
Or any memory of anyone else.
Yeah, especially female.
Right.
Because it's an action-driven film. So nobody thought that will happen. And then obviously that surprise kind of helped me. Even in Pink for that matter, I'll say, nobody thought that, okay, I'll have this kind of a role. With Amitabh Bachchan being there. They thought, okay, there'll be, but when the trailer came out, then they realized, okay, there might be something really interesting for this character. And then obviously things really worked in my favor. But yeah, so it has always worked for me when people didn't expect something out of me. And fortunately for me, not many expected me to be where I am today.
But now there's like a fair amount of expectation from your films, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Mulk would be a natural follow-up to Pink in a certain sense, the kind of role you did. Of course, films are very different in terms of what they're trying to say, but both are dramas. You play a certain kind of character, which is also in a courtroom. Would you agree?
Apart from the courtroom drama, I don't think anything else was similar.
Right.
I think Pink was very vulnerable. Mulk wasn't.
Right.
Mulk was more of a responsible, that it's on me to protect and save this family. So they're very different characters, just the genre is the same, courtroom drama.
Did you go as deep into Mulk as well?
Mulk was more like an inner voice in me wanting to do it. When I read the script, I was the first...
That's the point you want to make.
Yeah.
Right.
Since the time I read that script, I was the first actor to read that script in Anubhav sir's office. Sitting in the office, he told me, you read it right here and tell me now if you want to do it or no, because it's not an afterthought kind of a film. Either you believe in it or you don't. The script level work and all, if you have, if you think that, this way it will be better and all, it's a different story. But this either hits you deep or it doesn't. There's no midway. I sat down within like 1.5 hours, I read the script and I told him then and there, I am definitely doing it. And that last summation dialogue was something that I started preparing in my head from the day I read the script. Because I was waiting to do that 2-page
to make that point.
Dialogue that I got, and that I think that was just an inner voice wanting to use my medium, the power that I have in hand as an actor, to say what I wanted to say.
And how did you psych yourself for it?
I didn't have to psych myself for that,
okay,
because I was that person.
You kept rehearsing that
yeah, the lines I had to rehearse, so I get each and every line and word correctly. That I did. So I used to, every day in my van before I started my day, I used to just in my head go through that 2-page long dialogue to make sure I'm going to give it in one take. I'm not going to do the second take for that, for sure. At least from my side. If you don't like anything, then okay.
Sure.
Yeah, but then that's how I did it.
One take?
Yeah, one take.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well
There were 5 cameras running together, and that was a beautiful memory of that shot. We had like some 120 junior artists that day, the last day of courtroom sequence, and I had to give that line. I said, just keep running. Come what may, tell me if you don't like something that is drastically going wrong, then only sir call for cut, otherwise don't call for cut.
Let's just roll.
Let's just roll. 5 cameras rolling at the same time, and I started off, and it was Ashutosh sir's first summation and then mine, and I started off and I did the whole thing. Midway, I realized that there is one actor, one of the supporting actors in the film, who started coughing and sing sound, the film. And she was a new actor. She did not have an experience to work on a set and how sing sound works. So she started coughing, and she didn't realize that she could actually just go out so that she doesn't spoil the take.
Right.
So she kept sitting there trying to do that, but it's sing sound.
Was it bothering you, the sound?
I realized that it's happening,
right,
but I just forgot it very soon, and then I got carried forward with my dialogue. It didn't affect me as much. I finished that whole sequence. Everybody stood up and clapped, and that was a very surreal moment. One of the junior artists came up to me with a beautiful note saying that, you'll be the #1 actress of Bollywood very soon, and he signed it and wrote the date and all. He didn't ask me for a photo or anything. He just gave me that note and left. So that was beautiful.
What about the cough part though?
I'll tell you. So then Anubhav sir walks towards me, and he's come with a sound designer, and he looks towards me and he's like, and I was like, I want to just go, die right now. I don't know if I can do this again, and it's not because of my fault or a different track that I caught, and I remember the kind of emotions I felt that second. I was like, I can't do it, and he is like, no, you can, it's okay. Then he had to somehow convince me that it'll happen, because I didn't believe in myself that I can do it again. So it's okay, let's do it. I'll try to clean it up as much as possible, but let's just do it again. That girl was in tears. She came to me and she was like, I didn't know that I could go away. They told me that later on. I didn't know. I was like, I can't even get angry at her because poor girl, she's not her fault. So that was very heartbreaking. I did that shot again, but eventually he was like, I'm going to keep the first one and clean it up. So he kept the first one only, cleaned it up, yeah.
Were these films harder than, say, a film like Badla?
Yeah. Badla, by that time I had kind of gotten used to exploring certain emotions in me. I know how to play certain emotions. So I was too cold and calculative to expose my real side.
You were acting.
Yeah.
You could act.
Yeah.
Right. You didn't have to become that person.
Yes, I could act in terms, because she was acting there as Naina Sethi. So that became like an easier character, and I easily knew what I should do to make it look real. As an actor, I know now how to do what to make it look real. So I use that to my advantage.
Can I ask you a stupid question about Badla? Because when I was watching, that's the first thing that occurred to me. It's a really stupid question, I'm warning you. So there is a point in that film where you're having a conversation with a male character, and something, and just remind me, because I don't remember exactly what you guys say to each other, but something to the effect of, if that is true, then I'm Amitabh Bachchan. The person says, agar ye rahi to main Amitabh Bachchan hu. Right? He says that. Which means in that fictional world that you're part of, Amitabh Bachchan exists. then Amitabh Bachchan will look like Amitabh Bachchan, no?
So-
Then you should
so
know
you
that
ju-
Amitabh Bachchan aa gaya.
So, no, so exactly. So, that Amitabh Bachchan is not the Amitabh Bachchan in his head who's saying that line. It was Manav's impromptu addition to the dialogue. It was not how it was written.
Sure.
It was just their stupid humor that just suddenly, between Shujoy and Manav, when they decided, मैं ऐसे बोल दूँगा, Shujoy was like, you found it very funny, like, बोल दे. I was like, fine, whatever you guys find, it works. So, yeah. So, he just said whatever that actor felt at that moment. Yeah.
But when you do a movie like Marn Mazia, and you've mentioned this before, Taapsee, that that's the closest you've come to a character that's like him.
Yeah.
Does that become easier or even harder then?
Easier, but I'll tell you, with the part that was so hard that I was only not convinced for the longest time to do it. That whole thing of infidelity, the fact that she goes back to the boyfriend after getting married, that confusion, as me, I am not that confused in my life. I've been very clear about things. I'm very black and white with everything in my life, and Rumi is always grey. So that part of it was very difficult for me to accept, that how will I root for this character who's not loyal to the husband, and I am a very hopeless kind of a loyal person in my life.
Like a romantic as
Yeah, because I might have dated a lot of people in my life, but whenever I've dated, I've been like 100% there. And if it didn't work, if I felt like going with someone else, I will cut this off totally and then go. So that overlap didn't make sense to me, and that was actually what Kanika told me, the writer, was like, okay, if not this, then it's a cakewalk for you actually. And I agreed. If not that part, that role was a cakewalk for me.
Right.
And then there wouldn't have been any fun for me to actually do it. So my challenge was to make my audience root for me in spite of doing that, which even I don't approve of. So that I took it up as a challenge for myself and did that whole thing, which was not easy for me again, because as Taapsee, I don't approve of it. So, but I still have to make it look as real and convincing. I have to do it so innocently and with so much of conviction that my audience still roots for me. So yeah,
But if I were to be someone like you, because what I really liked about that film, besides other things, is how Abhishek Bachchan's character in any other film, and especially any other Hindi film, would be shown to be a pure bore, and he does not deserve the girl. But he actually has another side,
Yes.
and maybe a boring side,
Yeah.
but it's still an interesting side that
Yeah.
a girl could still fall for. I'm sure you met a lot of these boys in engineering college, for sure, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're boring, but they also have a certain, there's no empathy for these guys in movies for some reason, right?
Yeah.
If it was you, who would you have chosen of the two?
Robbie, as Taapsee, I would have chosen Robbie any day. I'm not comfortable with people who are not, don't really know where their head is, where their hand is, where their feet are. So like that, Vicky was that confused a character. Like he just never had a spine, only had a heart. I am not comfortable with that.
But they're
man.
more fun to be with, no?
Yeah, but fun means okay, I can be friends with them.
Sure.
But if you see as a man in my life, will not be, just fun and no spine. That doesn't make sense for me. I would rather have someone like Robbie, and Robbie had a very interesting. He had certain sense. He has sense of humor also at times. He had this whole thing of that I am yours and I will be yours. That maturity level to handle someone like Rumi. So Robbie was very, very close to the kind of man that I would want to be with.
At this point, I'm going to move to the audience, get some questions.
Oh, we
and
have
Button
audience
as well. Yes.
Taapsee, so you are also an entrepreneur, which you don't talk about too much
Yeah.
for some reason. And she has invested in a badminton.
I own a badminton team in the Premier Badminton League. Yeah.
So how do you handle them on a day-to-day basis?
So let me just clear this misconception. It's not like I don't talk about it. It's like people don't want to address it and kind of like acknowledge and probably glorify the fact that an actress from a very middle class regular background is kind of doing this simultaneously, not because she doesn't believe in her future as an actress, but because I just want to. So people don't want to talk about it much. Some do, only the business magazines end up mentioning it a little bit here and there, but not at that large scale.
You've seen Made in Heaven, that show?
I have.
Is it close to how an event planning wedding thing works?
So the chaos behind organizing it is there, but no, as far as I know, my company doesn't delve into the personal life of the bride and groom and get them together or get them separated, or all that is little not
bit much.
really too real. Yeah, but the chaos behind making the wedding look the way it does is there.
Right.
Yeah. So sorry, what was your question regarding that? That how do I manage it?
Yeah, how do you do it on a day-to-day basis?
Day-to-day basis, I'll tell you, I don't have to do much with both, much to do with both on day-to-day, because my sister handles the wedding planning business for me. So I only go for the big associations with the hotel tie-up meetings where I have to like come on the panel, or I have certain clients that who have come via me or because of me. So I go and attend those meetings. So these kind of meetings I end up being there, physically present, or if I'm free and there's some kind of a setup happening, I'll go on the location and I'll see, you know, if it's happening right or no. But most of the times it's mostly this doing the meeting part with the client or with the hotel that I'm a part of. That's my active, or the marketing side of what's next step to take to grow the business. That's what I do majorly in the business. Other things my sister
like spreadsheets, Excel sheets.
I can't literally make them. I have no knowledge of doing that because of my science background, but I can actually give them certain kind of ideas how to make the company go to the next level. Execution of it is in their hand.
Right.
I can just give them a way through, and yeah, all these how to get a certain hotel convinced that we can be on the panel, and what all we can offer in return to come on the panel.
Right.
So all those kind of, you know, deals that we can offer, I sit on it with my team to discuss. So that I do with my wedding planning, but day-to-day groundwork is done by my sister, so that ways I'm not every day invested in it. The badminton one, well, right now with the way it is going, the tournament happens once in a year, and we have auction once in a year, and the remaining year I have a proper office working only for this. There are a set of people employed for not just that on season time, but 12 months in a year who run this for me. And I go, and when I had to get investors for my company, because I did go out and give presentations to different companies, different
for endorsements and stuff.
Not endorsements, proper investors.
Right.
To take stake in my company. So I have gone for those meetings, I've given those presentations, I've met the sponsors as well, given them presentations.
Apparently you're bad luck when you're in the match. Is that true? I saw one of your interviews where whenever you're there, your team starts.
Yeah, that was happening, and I was just sitting in the toilet because we were winning and I was in the toilet. So I decided to go in the same toilet and sit there and wait. So I do that. So thankfully it doesn't take every day. I have kind of designated people, but for the big meetings or the big decisions, I come in, and that really helps me because it helps me grow as a person. Because when I'm giving presentations there, it's not Taapsee the actor. Nobody is going to give out insane amount of money to invest in my company just because I'm an actor. They don't do that. Trust me, it was very difficult to get investors on board for this. So I gave some 20-30 odd presentations. I finally got one investor out of it. So it is not that easy just because I'm an actor. It will be convenient. So yeah, it is tough, but it helps me grow as a person a lot. So that's why I still keep doing it. I make time for it.
Do you get these weird requests from the wedding business that you are in, that would Taapsee make an appearance? And just like
that happens when my sister goes for meetings, and then they say my name on the card,
right.
and then they say Taapsee Pannu ki company hai, to kya wo aayingi साथ में? And my sister was, should I add that in the invoice? So because if you want Taapsee Pannu the actor to come and appear,
that's a separate
thing.
Yeah.
If I'm doing wedding planning, I might just turn up when the setup is happening, but I'll not turn up when your wedding is happening. So for that you'll have to pay separately.
Makes sense.
Let's start with
has there been one crazy fan who's done something totally crazy for you? Yeah.
No, not really that crazy. There was like this one guy, I don't know, after my first Telugu film, he just felt like giving me a salute before he joined his IPS training. So he wanted me to give the first salute. So I don't know why.
Like outside your house?
No, he came where I was going for an interview to one channel, and he was standing outside, and I was like, honestly,
in his uniform?
No, not regular clothes. But he
Acha.
was going to fly from there to Delhi for his training after that, and I honestly did not understand why he wants to do it, because I honestly believe I've done nothing great for him to be so crazy about
And join the IPS of all things.
yeah, and give me the first salute before
Sure.
going. I was actually, that was quite crazy, and I did not understand the reason behind it, because I did not think I was really that great there. So yeah, I don't know why that happened.
But tell me something, when you work in a Tamil film or Tamil films and you work in Telugu, which is also, like, most people don't realize that Tamil and Telugu are very different industries in their own right.
Yeah.
Right? And then you do Hindi films, the reception you get, the sort of fans you get, how different is it in terms of fame when it's there, when it's here, when it's Hyderabad, when it's Chennai, when it's Bombay?
Very different.
Okay, how is it different?
South, in this way I can generalize between Tamil and Telugu also to an extent, compare and contrast it with Hindi audience. They are very, very passionate about films and film stars. Okay, they are movie fans. So even if you're one film old and your film has worked, or two film old or whatever, they might not be a die-hard fan of yours. But because they are movie fans, they will be like crazy about you. And their passion for films is so high that
For stars, na?
yeah, see, you've come in film, you're a star for
Correct,
them.
correct.
There is no difference of, you're an actor and not really a star.
Right.
You're a star, you've come in the film. And they'll do, and it's a ritual for them to watch a film every weekend. So it's not like in Hindi where we get tired telling them, "Meri picture aa rahi hai, please trailer dekh lo. Meri picture aa rahi hai." No, you don't have to do that. They'll just anyway give you a chance because you've made a film and it's releasing. They'll give you a chance if it's exciting enough as a trailer or first look or whatever. But in Hindi, I don't think the people are that passionate about, whatever's coming, we're going to give it a chance. Only when the word of mouth spreads, and people start talking good things about it, you take time out of your busy schedule and give it a chance.
So you're saying we're kind of jaded, the Hindi audience? They've just had too much, where there's still that excitement of back in the day, single screen
I
excitement.
don't know what is
in
the
South?
reason. I honestly don't know the reason, but I've seen this as a difference. I'm not able to put finger on why is it like that. No, we make.
But you feel more like a star when you're in
Yeah.
Hyderabad or Chennai.
You are larger than life when you
Right.
are a star in South. You are larger than life. But here, everybody is a star on set. Everybody can be. Anybody who's sitting on the set is a star there. Here.
Right. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Which one would you prefer? To be the larger than life star or?
I think
or-
I should not complain either side, because I'm getting to live both the worlds, and I'm very happy that if I want to feel like a queen, I can go down south and work here, and if I
Right.
want to feel real and normal, I can just do one Hindi film and they make me show the reality that you are nowhere. You're here only.
Really, you feel that? You think Bollywood makes you feel that?
Yeah.
Because you've spoken about this quite often, about this whole insider-outsider thing, and about how even after so many years, or after so many films, and so many successful films, actually, you don't feel like an insider.
Yeah. But I don't see...
What do you mean by that?
But I don't see it as a negative feeling of any sorts. I actually feel that it's a very positive feeling, actually. Because it is my big USP, strength or weapon of sorts, that I am an outsider. So my view of things is extremely broad. And I come from the kind of background I come from gives me a very real take on the kind of characters I play and the
Sure.
way I play them. So that's actually a big strength that I have, that I'm an outsider.
You've
and
seen a world outside Jew, Bandra and...
and I've seen, I might not have the those turbulent times while growing up. I've had a fairly happy, happy-go-lucky kind of a childhood. No ups and downs of financial status or anything in life, by God's grace, thankfully. So, but then I've lived a normal life. I've caught a DTC bus. I have had people eve-teasing me on roads. I've gone through everything like a regular Delhi girl would. So my point of view of a lot of characters probably looks real because of that. And I'm really happy for that. So I don't really feel bad about the fact that I'm not an insider as yet. And to an extent, I've kept myself away. In terms of I'm not into the social circle of the industry as much, because my day ends at 10 p.m. and it begins at 6:37 in the morning. So most of the times,
Sounds like Akshay Kumar to me.
I wish
You
I
also do
keep
4
saying
movies in a year,
Yeah. I'm
right?
telling you, people kept asking me this lately, and then I told them even if I would have achieved half of what he has, I'll retire. That man has done way too much.
Yeah.
So so that way the day, there's no place for that social time that actually happens later after the day finishes. And plus, I really want to have a cut and pack up in life. I want to come back home to a normal life where I don't talk about films and I don't discuss what's happening in the industry. I've deliberately kept it like that. So that's why I really didn't go. I've had great equation with people I've worked with, but apart from one or two, I don't have anyone I can call, okay, that I can hang out with them without a movie screening or a specific movie party get together. There are only like very few who I really hang out with normally.
And that's deliberate? Like you
Yeah.
make sure?
Deliberate in the sense to keep it to limited number?
Yes.
Yeah, because I really don't want to get those conversations of films and film industry seep into my real life.
You've been kicked out of films because you weren't recommended by certain people from
Yeah.
certain families.
Yeah, but it still happens.
Were you responding to something that happened then, or is it something that's happened to you quite
No,
a few
it has
times?
happened quite often.
Yeah?
I just said that it happens and it is a rule of the book, game,
Fair
for that
enough.
matter, and I accepted it like long back. Yes, even now if it happens in front
But
of
it pisses
me,
you off, right?
of course it does, like
Yeah.
a normal human being, and you feel really angry and you want to vent it out, and I do that in front of my sister. But more than that, and my sister always has the same answer that I also know, that you knew about it when you entered. And that's true. I always knew about it's going to happen. So why crib about it right now? Rather, I'll make sure I make my way through in spite of this, and that will be the real success, rather than sitting and cribbing every time it happens to me. I knew about it, and it happens in every industry.
Like you cribbed about, or I don't know whether it wasn't really cribbing, there's a lot of sarcasm there, about Filmfare Awards, for instance, when you wrote about the fact that they missed you. I mean, in the popular category, whereas you had like some 3 big releases that same year.
Yeah. This question comes up to me, and I just say this stopped affecting me some time back, and it affected me the maximum 2-3 years back when Pink happened, because I was snubbed that time as well. Well, at that time, when after Shujit Sarkar tells you that अपने कपड़े सिलवा ले, इस साल बड़े award मिलेंगे तेरे को, and you probably people are just like crying while interviewing you because of the role you did and all that. You've touched them so deeply,
Which is true, yes.
yeah, I had some beautiful moments after that film with people. So after all that, you're not even nominated in a lot of awards, and totally snubbed that year. That broke my heart very badly. And that day I was like, nobody's going to listen to me if I'm going to call out saying, this didn't happen to me, and foul play and all that. Nobody's going to take me seriously, and they're just going to put me aside that she keeps scribbling, oh my god, like all that. So I said, I'll do something, I'll give such films every year that people will start asking you that why you snubbing her. I will not ask you. So that is the pledge that I took a few years back when this happened to me in Pink. There onwards, every year I had films in which people loved my work as a performer, but I was snubbed. I was snubbed last year as well. But this year things changed because it became so shameless and evident that people started questioning now, and that's when tables turned. So now I'm really enjoying it, because now they can't turn back and say she's bitter, or she's cribbing, or she's crying. I'm not saying anything. It's my audience who's talking, because you've made it so shamelessly evident that they're going to talk on my behalf. And that's, I think, my real victory.
And you've said this before too, in the sense that you get far more recognition from the public than you do from the peers.
Yeah.
Or the film industry, as it were.
Yeah. But since when did peer validation become the true mark of validation? Like, who said that only when you get validated by your peers is when you've actually arrived? I'm fine with being the underdog. I'm still not in the so-called list of 5 actresses who are supposed to be rated in the order of their performances. I'm fine with that, but I'm still the same actress whose films are the highest rated films in the year. If you see the last year, my films, I think I was really proud of the fact that I had some of the best rated films last year. And I'll have that again this year, and it has already began. So I'm going to make sure my work is going to speak for me, because of which my audience is going to start talking on me. They'll become the people who will be talking on my behalf and being my support. I will not talk about it. Let their validation come in for me. Because they are the ones who are paying for my movie ticket and making it a hit. None of these other peers whose validation we expect are the ones paying for the movie ticket and watching it. So that doesn't matter.
On that note, wish you the best
Thank
for
you.
the year.
Thank
I've
you.
seen Game Over, and I think it's a fabulously
Thank you.
cult film that should be watched by a whole lot of people. And of course, you have lots of great movies.
I have
too
Mission
coming up.
Mangal coming up and then Sant Ki Aankh.
Thank you very much. I hope you have a great year.
My pleasure. Yes, I will.
Take care.
If you like this interview, then subscribe to the YouTube channel Midday India.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.